Hello everyone. It's James again. And today I want to talk about something very important. And that's how toxic people, narcissists included in that bunch, start how they finish. And that's always with one manipulation after the other. And that's the thing that most people don't see. And I want to be blunt here for just a moment. It's a big thing for most of us to overcome. Especially men. Now though this topic applies for both men and women. Because narcissists and other toxic so-called people are out there right now as we speak, doing these tactics to ensnare their victims. That are both men and women. However, if you live in the Western world, you've probably noticed there are more women than men. So the typical woman in our Western society has her pick. And that's why you see women jumping from one man to the next. Because they feel like they can. So they can always in their mind get a so-called better man. Now this might not apply to you good women on my channel. But it's happening. And it would be wrong to pretend that it's not. And later on in other videos, I will be showing you examples of this. Because many things that have been predicted in the Bible regarding this are indeed coming to pass. But with that being said, because men are outnumbered, you would think they would be chased down by some good women wanting to be a traditional wife. Not so. Many of these women have been taught by the system to manipulate. And because many of these men, even men that are good looking and that have a lot going for them, are so desperate they overlook these manipulative tactics in the beginning. And continue on in a relationship with this woman. Only to be taken on a series of manipulations. And to end with a big grand final manipulation on the part of this toxic person. Now keep in mind, this can and does happen to women at the hands of men. But I see a lot of men fall for this at the hands of women. Simply because they are thirsty for a woman. You see, I gave an example of a woman I work with that talked on and on about how she's never been to a certain town. A town I recommend her to visit as they have lots of nice places to eat, a good view, and a nice place to relax. The next day, she's just talking in general about a restaurant that is in this town she said she's never been to before. But she eats there all the time. Now most of you got it? But a few looked at things only surface level. And this is why gets many people snagged into the spider's web. Yes. Maybe she was and is attracted to me. But for starters, that's a dangerous thing to engage in if you value your job in this Me Too era. But that aside, if you watch such a person carefully, you will see and hear them say and do similar manipulative things with other people. Letting you know, if you get involved with someone, how they start is how they will finish. If you don't want to get manipulated, or lied to over and over again, don't engage in relationships with people that lie and manipulate from the first interactions they have with you. And don't lie to yourself and say, oh wow, she's super into me. Or she's attracted to me. Because though she or they might be, that part is surface level. You have to look deeper. Because every person that has been taken by a narcissist, borderline or other toxic type, we can look back on our relationships. And we remember the things in the beginning they said and did that made us pause for a moment. And say, that's not quite right. But for some reason we rationalized it in our minds. Overlooked it. And then years later kicked ourselves for not acting on what we noticed in the beginning. This toxic person started out with a lie and manipulation. And they ended with several lies and several manipulations. And don't look for a different result. Don't think you're somehow special enough to make it so they won't do this to you. It's like a mousetrap, where everything about the trap says it's a trap. And the mouse sees other mice getting taken out by this trap. But this mouse thinks in his or her mind that somehow they are different and will be able to get the food without being taken out. But in the end, they lose their life. And no shock or surprise, they're right. But here's the thing. People are the same way. Especially people that are desperate. They ignore their gut. And they make up things in their mind. That allows themselves to talk themselves into a situation they should be avoiding at all cost. The Bible tells us often to test all things. And we are told that for a reason. Because Satan is smart. He can disguise himself as an angel of light. And if he can do that, a narcissistic demon can disguise himself or herself as someone that is good for you and your life. Now, I'm not saying to do the narcissistic do test to them. Because this is an evil test that toxic so-called people do to others to see if they are ripe for abuse. But instead, slow down time. Watch and observe people. Listen to what they say. And then watch how they act over a long period of time. And don't just go off of one situation. Look at many. And if someone likes you, they won't use manipulation to be around you. They will just simply be around you. But you need to start caring about your time. And not wasting it on those that only want to see your downfall. One of my subscribers commented about how Yeshua, the man we call Jesus Christ, had one difficulty thrown his way after the next. Simply because Satan was constantly trying to take him out. Because he didn't want him to fulfill the reason why he was sent here on this earth. Which was to save you and I from our sins. And let me tell you, the Most High makes and has made every one of us with a purpose. And when you get tangled up with these demons, these vipers, these lizard people, that wrap you up into one manipulation after the next, you get thrown off of your purpose and the reason why you are on this earth. And all of your time is eaten up by this toxic evildoer, making you work so hard to untangle the web they are weaving around your life, which eventually ends up being your downfall. So yes, maybe this woman liked or likes me. It very well could be. But she can also like many other men at the office that she has tried to fish with using this same type of manipulation. The answer will be, who will bite the hook and be taken out of the water and thrown on the boat, only to flop around gasping, trying to breathe. And to that I say, no thank you. The moral of this video is to slow things down. And trust your gut. Because the things they are lying about today will only get worse as time goes on. And you will be kicking yourself if you get involved with such a so-called person. And because you didn't test all things as the Bible instructs us to do. Well, that's all I have for now. I do hope you found this information helpful. I do thank you for your comments and interactions on my videos. I also thank you all for your subscription to my channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And don't forget to share and like, as that helps this channel and the videos on it move up in the rankings, so those that need to find this information will have an easier time to do so. And if you want to support even further, you can do so by the way of Patreon. There will be a link in the box below. And if you are supporting by the way of Patreon, I want to say a humble thank you from the bottom of my cartoon heart. I do appreciate your support, as every little bit helps. With that said, let's continue to pray for wisdom. Let's continue to pray for strength. And let's continue to pray for courage. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.